we've got going on is a beautiful breakout and beautiful astrology. And yes, we've got is this great setup of Jupiter. When this trade started was Jupiter conjunct Jupiter. Around the 21st of June, we had Jupiter and the Sun conjunct Jupiter Sun on Jupiter. You could actually say the 24th was the strongest. You could allow a day on either side. So it's absolutely to perfection. You also had this great breakout on the trend lines to perfection. So that is exactly what you want. The beauty with astrology is that will allow you to not have to wait for confirmation. You could even take it here thinking, you know what, that's looking and could break out of a downtrend. Knowing that there's good astrology coming allows you to get set earlier. And that's where the benefit comes, is because we can usually predict these patterns in advance as one benefit. This is what's going on now. Now, as it's coming up into this really big breakup, this is the energy of Jupiter coming over the Sun. For anyone wanting dates, don't hold me to them exactly. We look at is when it finishes, and we usually say that the energy will start to wane around, let's say, the 23rd of July, give or take a few days on either side. There is a negative transit coming up. So you probably will see a drop in momentum. I would imagine you are probably going to see a dip from Jupiter opposite Pluto, one of our worst IPO transits. And it comes in almost just after. So somewhere around the very end of July, I expect a dip in momentum. There will be a Saturn square Pluto. That won't mean anything to anyone, but I don't think that's great anyway. The astrology is not good after July, but it will pick up again, and I will say that. But we've just got quite a lot of negative transits setting up here, and particularly Jupiter opposite Pluto. So I would say it's momentum 1 minute and then maybe not, because also there's this huge dip. Now, when we trade Jupiter over these planets, we want to hold them for the whole thing. There's something about Ripple being a bank. Things may dip July, probably August. I would expect maybe some news to come back somewhere around September. That's if this is a news thing. I don't know anything about it. All I'm looking at is the astrology and the chart. So somewhere late September, that news, it will probably back off somewhere maybe around October. And then I think it would potentially, don't know for sure, come back somewhere around mid-December in some way. That may cool off for a little bit. And then what I think will happen is that I think it'll come back again, probably somewhere around May 2026. Jupiter's going to come back on Mercury for the third time. And while I'm talking about this news, Mercury rules news and Jupiter's coming over. I do want to point out, though, there is some pretty heavy-duty astrology in May. So I prefer the 2025 end of this. But this astrology is heavy. We've got Pluto square Saturn square Pluto. I don't like that. And look, maybe a little bit of news comes in, but I don't think it's good enough. It's quite heavy, this astrology. So I would probably suggest to make the most out of the momentum here. Look, maybe if you want to just keep a little bit. But what will happen is that then some more heavy astrology comes, and this is where you'd probably want to be out of this trade. So even though there's a bit more news to come, I'd say it's weighted to the negative side. So I really like what's going on now to the end of the year with Bitcoin involved. And I think the plays here, again, end of July will probably dip, and then you may just see something else coming around September sometime. Don't get too married to the exact days. That is not the way to use this stuff, particularly when we've got this sort of setup here. But it's a great setup. It's amazing for beginners into astrology because it's a bit of a set and forget. Just let it do the work. Sometimes I dip out by the last planet. You're a bit bored of the trade. But usually you do see something through the whole thing. Amazing breakout on the chart. You've got the benefit of the chart helping as well. It's not just the astrology. The traders are using the technicals. 335 looks like it's going to go back and hit those highs. Look, I can't tell you price. It's not how I do astrology. So this one looks good, and it's got, as I said, the momentum's here right now.